Get Warrior Tough, Mental Training 101 with Andrew Wittman and Dutch Coleman. And now back to Andrew and Dutch.
Dutch Coleman, allow me to say, you're a good-looking man. You are so handsome.
You, my good man.
Oh, man, I tell you what. I'm so lucky because I get to look at you. I'm telling you what, man. It just doesn't get any better than that. I'm so glad we're partnered up, man.
I tell you what, man. I'll take them where I can get them, man. I appreciate that, man. You know, I feel the same about you. I just love the things that we do, the impact that we're having. Man, I'm loving life right now with respect to my my professional existence, among other things. And I say that to say a lot of people don't feel that way. And, you know, the reason I feel that way is the same reason you feel that way. You took control of that, right? You took control of why and how you can feel that way. And you made a decision to give me a call and ask me to partner up with you so we can make this thing happen. And, of course, I responded in kind, happy, pleased, and anxious about the impact we can have on people's lives. So we took control.
Yeah.
And that's why we can say that we're happy.
And not just, you know, and I got to tell you, man, like, this is the beauty about our partnership. Like, misery loves company, and neither you and I love misery. So, like, everybody's out of our circle, that if they want to be miserable, they don't stay around in our circle very long. And it's so great to stand shoulder to shoulder with somebody of a like mind, of a like purpose. We're pulling together in the yoke. It's just so much fun, dude. It's just ridiculous. It should be illegal. It should be illegal.
It is. And it is not a joke. It is not a joke that that you have to take control of those situations. There are a lot of people that listen to us right now that are unhappy in what they're doing, and they're afraid to take control. They're afraid to take the bull by the horns. Now, we're not saying it's going to be easy. We're not saying it's going to be simple. But what we are saying is you have to begin the process of finding that path out of there, fixing it, doing whatever you need to do. And it may not be out of there. It may be looking inward at yourself to making the existence
I'll tell
better.
you what, you can make that correction immediately. It's really how you look at stuff. Even if you just get fact and truth down, it's just amazing what it can do to free you up.
No question about it. We oftentimes run into people that are looking at everything around them as being the issue. Oh, man, I don't like this place because of this. I don't like these people because of this. And when we get them to look inward, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person.
No.
Doesn't mean you're horrible. Doesn't mean you're stupid. Doesn't mean anything like that. It could be a few things that you adjust, that you recognize, you identify, that could put you on a path to where you want to be, still in that same place, or the path that leads you out of that place. But you still got to clean up that place first, and you got to clean up yourself within that place, because then your eyes become wide open, right?
Right, and if you don't clean you up wherever you go next, you're going to take those same problems with you. It's not
it's going to be a mess anyway.
Listen, man, I was down in Atlanta this week, and I was feeling bad because you weren't with me a little bit. You know what I mean? I Snapchatted the empty chair and sent it to you in the car. I was in the rental car, and I was like, Dutch is missing, right? So but it's all right. It's all good. But there was, at the end, there was a couple participants, and they were just like, I just don't get what you're saying. I don't get that I'm the problem and I'm the solution. I was like, well, give me an example. Just tell me what the problem is, and, I'll see what I can help. We'll see. Just what's the problem you're facing? And it literally went on like this 10-minute rant of just complaining about it, and there was literally no problem. As I said, so what's the problem? Like, it was just complaining that they couldn't CC. They had to CC people in their chain of command on an email. They couldn't, they didn't see themselves as being treated fairly because somebody gave them the information they needed to fill out a report at 4:30, when they've been asking for it all day. And so then they only had a half an hour to finish their report. And I'm like, okay, so what's the problem? Did you get the report finished? Yeah, but they didn't give it to me when I asked for it. Oh, okay, what's the problem? And it was just a rendition of the problems. But there was no problem. It was really just complaining, Dutch, is what it was. So there's no solution to the problem other than you just need to stop complaining about all this stuff, because there was no problem. The mission got accomplished. Paychecks are being exchanged.
And I tell you what, is people want these victories, right? But they don't want the challenges.
Yeah.
And we don't tell you that challenges aren't going to be there. What we're telling you is that challenges are going to be there, but we're telling you how to respond to them, how to receive them, how to look through them and beyond them and
Not
work
just that,
through
but
them.
Embrace them, man.
They're going to be there.
Right. Challenges are part of life. Embrace them. Challenges could be your best friend. Listen, that's how I rocketed up through the chain of command through, when I was an agent, because I accepted challenges. Challenge accepted. I can't wait for the big. Give me the hardest problem you got.
Well, the bigger the challenge, the bigger the victory, right? I mean, you want to beat the 0-16 team, or you want to beat the 16-0 team.
Which is funny because a lot of people, they would rather have that, that cupcake game.
Yeah.
And feel like, man, this was fun. But it's like 30-year-olds playing 9-year-olds in little league baseball and then feeling good. What was that movie? It was called Benchwarmers or something, I think. Richard Spade, and they were like 20 years old and they were playing 8-year-olds. Yeah,
the story isn't as much fun when you're telling your grandkids when you beat the 0-16 team. I tell you what, one of my best friends in the world is Billy McMillan. I'm telling you, he had to face Roger Clemens in Yankee Stadium. And I tell you what, facing Roger Clemens is like, I mean,
that's a story.
I mean, you can get struck out, right? So would you rather face Roger Clemens and face the prospects of getting struck out in front of everybody? Or would you rather get some mediocre pitcher where you can have a chance to get a home run off of, right? Well, he hit a grand slam upper deck off Roger Clemens.
Boom.
That story is so much better than I hit the grand slam off of so-and-so nobody pitcher. Even though so-and-so nobody pitcher probably wouldn't have had a chance to strike him out. Yeah. And Roger Clemens did have a chance to strike him out. But you got to be willing to. So when someone gives you the information at 4:30, I'll tell you what, if you're like, man, I can't believe he gave me this information at 4:30. Let me get this done. And you knock it out the box. Then at the end you go, man, I knocked it out the box. He didn't give it to me until 4:30, and I still knocked it out the box.
Man, you give it to me at 5 to 5, I'm going to get it done.
That's the way, because the challenges are going to be there. So are you going to embrace the challenges, or are you going to waste another 15 minutes just complaining and being angry and not productive? Your mind is clouded.
That was like last week. They're still on it. It's like that was a week ago, and you're still riding that. I mean, stop.
And that's a choice. That's a choice, folks.
It totally is a choice, man. That's just like you can either be better or you could be bitter, man. You pick it.
And we're not saying that those folks were right for giving you the information at 4:30.
But it's outside my control. So what am I going to do? Go in a tailspin because of that?
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, they gave you the information at 4:30. That's a fact. We can't dispute that. They gave you the information late, and guess what? You still have a deadline.
So, Dutch,
that's where we go.
Have you ever seen that movie? I think it was Men of Honor. It's got Cuba Gooding Jr. And Robert De Niro. Mm-hmm. Okay, for everybody that wants to complain about getting the information at 4:30 instead of 5 o'clock, go watch that movie, which is a true story about Carl Brashear, the first African-American Navy diver, and see what he had overcome in order to get dive status. They did everything that they could think of and some things that they shouldn't even have thought of and some few things that no one thought of to get him out of the school so that he would go back to just being a cook, and that way they didn't have to have an African-American in the Navy being a diver. And see what he overcame. Then you cry to me about I didn't get the information till 4:30. Like,
and you know what? If they still don't accept that, guess what? You're still not getting the information until 4:30.
Yeah, so I don't know what you're talking about, man. Just stop.
So you're still going to be in that boat, so you might as well embrace it and use it as an opportunity. I mean, the biggest challenges become the biggest opportunities. That's what you have to do. You have to look at it like that and get in that batter's box and keep that elbow up and knock it out the park.
So after like 10 minutes of that just going, she just, I still don't see the problem. And then, I said what I just said to you. Then she started all over again at the beginning. And I was just like, I stood up, and I was like, well, it's good talking to you. She goes, oh, so now you're just going to leave because you're not going to help me? I'm like, there's nothing I can do for you. Love you, but I got a thing, man.
I'll tell you what, man. So, some of us choose to be in misery. Some of us enjoy it. But there's so much joy on the other side. If you come with us to the other side, there's so much more joy to be had. And all it takes is you making that decision. And when you make that decision, every time these things come up, the choice is already made. You're going to walk down that path of getting in that batter's box, putting that batter's helmet on, and swinging away, man, going for it. That's what you got to do.
I can't believe we're talking about baseball. I can't wait to tell Quack to listen in because you're giving baseball examples. That's a little shout out to our WCCP crowd. All right, so let's get back on this. We're almost like up on the break again. But so let's talk about some of these traits, right? So a lousy leader, one of the worst traits of the worst leaders. What's that hashtag you get, the worst kind of person?
WKOP.
Right, so this is going to be the worst kind of leader. Okay, so what is it, the WKOL?
Yes, yes.
Hashtag WKOL, the worst kind of leader. So they think they're the best at everything. Bad leaders often have an inflated sense of their own abilities. And they're
you
not,
can't tell
they're
them
not
otherwise.
coachable. Yeah, they're not coachable, man. They're just not coachable. Like, and here's what they like. I know the part that I'm good at, and I know the stuff that I'm not good at, Dutch. And I don't try to go do stuff that I'm not good at, man.
No question about it. You know, the smartest people go find smarter people.
There you go. That's what I'm all about, man.
And you know, I'm only defaulting to myself if I can't find a smarter person. But I'm telling you, I'm looking.
Yeah,
And if that
exactly.
smarter person isn't available, but I'm looking.
Yeah, exactly. Number 2, they're not into self-growth. Right, so
That's a big one.
Yeah, because a good leader, we know that if you're not learning and growing, so everything in nature, right, Dutch? If you look through nature, things are either growing or they're dying. And this self-growth process. So if you don't have a growth plan, I ask it like this. Remember, we're on the podium. I'll say, you know, when you first were born, when you were a baby, did you just grow naturally, or did your mom have to do stuff? Like she had to feed you, right? Clothe you, keep you out of the elements, nurture you. You don't just grow automatically. And they're like, yep. So, and if things are either growing or dying, I got to ask you this question, right? Well, if you don't have a growth plan, because as your mom and your dad, even though they may not articulate, they have a growth plan. They know they had to feed you and change your diaper and then put you to sleep and keep you out of the elements and keep you safe. But if you don't have a growth plan, then by default, you're not growing. So then you're doing what?
You're dying.
Right. And so this is like whether you're, this is every person, not just a leader, but especially if you're in a leadership position, quote, and you're not into self-growth, I got no time for you, man.
Well, I'll tell you, we got about 30 seconds left in this segment, but I'll say this. A lot of times the worst thing that can happen is also the best thing that can happen. Success, right?
Yeah.
Because when success happens, we rest on our laurels. We know we've accomplished something. And then so we don't feel like there's a need to change anything or develop anything because we've already arrived. And again, success can hurt you as much as it can help you. So you always have to treat yourself like you're that person, that kid that's trying to make the team. Even though you're on the team, you're a starter, you're the star player. But you have to have the mentality like I'm that guy that's trying to make that team because I'm going to always be grinding, trying to be better.
We talked about that last week, that complacency thing. It'll get you. All right.
It'll get you.
You listen to the Get Warrior Tough radio show with Dutch and Andrew. We'll be right back.